Hello everyone, so today we're going to be taking a tour of my cottage garden in the month of May. This is exactly a month on from my last tour in April, and a lot has changed as you might be able to see. So much is in flower now, we have some big garden changes to go over. It's a very exciting time in the garden. So if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing as we're currently trying to hit 5,000 subscribers, and I would love to have you as a part of the channel. Let's jump straight into the tour. So, a big change you might notice from my view here, if you're familiar with my tours, is that one of the cypress trees is actually gone. I decided to chop it down. Now, this was a bit of a difficult decision as I don't really like chopping down trees. It's not ideal, but I had recently planted a bunch of other trees to kind of replace it. And the reason why this had to go is simply that it got too big. I didn't plant this, it was already here when I came to the garden and moved into the house, I should say. And yeah, it was never a great fit for the garden to begin with. Nature never used it or really liked it. The birds just didn't seem to gel with this tree at all. I never really saw any insects around it. So yeah, I decided to remove it. It was getting way too big. It was starting to fall over and damage things and be a little bit dangerous, to be honest with you. And not to mention last year, with how dry it was, it kind of died through the middle. So yeah, it is gone. The other one is staying for now. I'm not sure what will happen in the future. But yeah, I think it honestly looks a lot better without it. The garden has opened up a lot more. You can kind of see to the back a lot more. And yeah, I think it's just definitely a good change. Now, of course, the main star of today's tour is the alliums, as tons of these have come up, and May is really the best time to enjoy them. Here in mid May, they're looking pretty much as good as they're going to get. We have a lot of them here in this front border. Now, I will say this year hasn't been as good as last year for alliums because I think it was such a wet winter that a lot of them rotted, and that was definitely a shame. A lot of the ones that are planted this year, as you can see at the back, have also kind of fallen over. So it just doesn't really seem like they got that strength that they needed. I did plant them very deep to make sure they would have a good support, but again, nothing really seemed to help them a ton. So unfortunately, it's not as good this year as it was last year for the alliums, but there's still a few interesting ones that I want to show, kind of weaving in and out of the flower beds that I think you'll enjoy. This was flowering in my last tour, but the GM Totally Tangerine is still looking absolutely fantastic. I haven't even had to deadhead it once yet because usually what you do is once a stem has completely stopped flowering, then you'll deadhead it right at the bottom. But even though some of the flowers have kind of faded, as you can see, there's still other flowers coming through on the stems. So yeah, I mean, this one's just gone absolutely crazy. There are hundreds and hundreds of flowers on here. I can't recommend this plant enough. Definitely one of my favorites. We also do have the Nepitas in full flower, as you can see. This one right by the edge of the pathway, looking very good at the moment. This is Nepita's Walker's Low. And yeah, it's absolutely filling the pathway out, which is incredibly nice. I'm really liking how this is looking at the moment. I always love these, and I mean, they'll continue to get even bigger than this, but yeah, they're fantastic. The pollinators absolutely love them. Down here, we do have some more Nepitas, some new ones which I had to plant, and I kind of had to do that because, first of all, I had one here that went really sort of dead, unfortunately. It kind of died through the middle. I think it needed to be kind of split in the autumn. So I decided I'll just replace it with a new one because I had a few new ones. And then the other one, there was another Nepeta here, which I had to dig up because it had ground elder roots with it, which came from my front garden. And if you know anything about ground elder, you'll know they're very bad. So I decided to dig it up and replace it with another one. But yeah, they'll come through this summer. It won't take them that long. Next to them is a Geum Lady Stratfordon. But I've got to be honest, this whole front border here doesn't look the best at the moment. It's very sort of empty and straggly. I think it'll look better as summer comes along. But there are some big changes that I'm going to be working on that hopefully you'll see kind of come to fruition by the time I do my June tour. So stay tuned for that. We're going to move on to better looking flower beds. We also have lots of Erigeron galvinskianus in flower, looking really pretty. None of the pink ones yet, but they will start to come through soon, I'm sure. More Nepitas. Again, all of these are pretty much Walker's Low or Six Hill Giants. This one's not really gone as big as some of the others, but this is a partial shade area, so that might explain it. Here in my stone urn planter, I've actually made some changes. Now, originally, this was ivy kind of dangling down and then Origeron at the back, but I've decided just to put Origeron in here. First of all, it's really good for pots, but also because the ivy had gone very straggly, it kind of started to die a bit, and it never really had the look I intended for. So I decided to just move that somewhere else and just put a ridger on because I think it will look perfect. It'll actually match better with the garden. So that's my current sort of, goal, is that to sort of fill this out and look really nice. Here's my other GM Totally Tangerine, which is kind of blending with the Nepeta. What a fantastic combination this is. This genuinely has to be my favorite combination in the entire garden. I mean, it looks so perfect. So yeah, I absolutely love this. Really, really great. The sort of blues and purples with the orange. I mean, it looks absolutely stunning, I think. As you can see, we do have quite a few alliums mixed in the flower beds. They're not as tall as I would like, but you know, they're decent. I think I just need to up my game next year with planting a lot more of these. You can see that the cloth of gold Achillea, one of my absolute favorites in the garden, is starting to get heads here at the front. So that's very, very exciting. I can't wait to see that. We also have this beautiful Nautia arvensis, which is a sort of perennial scabious, looking really, really pretty at the moment. Absolutely love this one. I mean, it flowers so prolifically throughout the entire year as long as you deadhead it. So I'm really, really excited to see this one kind of come up more and look great. Now, one that I haven't mentioned yet, but I have to mention right in the middle is my Thalictrum black stockings, which is just, I mean, you can see this pretty much from everywhere in the garden. What a beautiful plant. It's so, so lovely. The foliage of it, the stems obviously are completely black, which is so lovely, but the contrast between the sort of bright purpley pink colors, it's amazing. So yeah, this is one of my absolute favorites in the entire garden. Just trying to focus on it there. I mean, I love how tall it sort of stands. It's kind of about 5 foot, stands sort of very tall, and I've grouped them all together this year so they can kind of make a big impact. Yeah, it just looks absolutely wonderful. Oh, and there was just a butterfly enjoying it as well. So yeah, it's great. Here's my really massive Nepeta, which as you can see is kind of spilling over the pathways. I did actually tie it back a bit because, you couldn't actually walk down this pathway. So yeah, I mean, it's still looking very natural and spilling over, but I did move it back a little bit just so there was actually some room to move. But yeah, I do think this one is looking fantastic. Here are some of my favorite alliums. I think these are allium like Christophii or something like that. They're the very traditional ones. They're not too tall or anything like that, but they're so nice. I love the sort of faded kind of purple color. I mean, these have been up for quite a while now, so I imagine that soon they'll kind of stop, which is a shame, but for now, I'm really, really enjoying them. Again, not all of them came up from last year. If you look back on my May tour from last year, there was actually more of them, which is such a shame. But again, I think that rain really rotted them because when I was digging around, I did find some rotted shells of them. So, but for now, I still think the few that we have are looking really nice. They still make a big impact. In my little corner of this pathway, the Brunera Jack Frost is still flowering and looking great, which is fantastic. So this thing has done really well this year. I'm definitely very, very pleased with it. And I think it looks great amongst sort of the Nepetas and such. These are Nepeta Six Hills Giant. Definitely an absolute favorite of mine. It's going to be gone by the time we get to the June tour, of course, because it's been such a long time. But that's fine. I think, things aren't going to last forever in the garden, and the spring plants have their place. So, yeah, I'm absolutely loving the fact this one has lasted for so long. We have lots and lots of little alliums in here, as you can kind of see. They're all kind of weaving in and out. I don't think a lot of these are going to get much taller. Now, when I bought these, I was confident these were supposed to be the tall ones. So I'm not sure if it's the case that either I made a mistake or they just haven't grown tall because of the weather. I really don't know, but I was sure they were the tall ones. It's very odd to say. I do like this little butterfly on here, though, if you can see that. It's very cute. They absolutely love the alliums. It is a bit annoying because so many of them are falling over. Again, I really did try to plant them sort of deep, but it didn't work out as well as I would hope. Now, also, these Achillea cloth of gold in the back are looking absolutely massive. They're huge this year. Last year, they were like half of this. So, yeah, it really is true that in the sort of second year, third year, perennials really go crazy, which I'm very happy about. I can't wait for these to actually flower. I'm hoping they'll be flowering in the June tour. Also, lots of the perennial grasses, the Calamagrostis Carl Forrester, are starting to come up really nicely and even starting to get the little sort of foliagey bits on them, the sort of thistly bits that they get. So I'm really excited to see them come through. The Echinops, one of my favorites in here, is looking really big now as well. So yeah, I mean, lots of our sort of prairie favorites in here are looking really good. And for those of you who have followed my channel for a long time, I love that style. I've leaned into that even more this year. I think it's going to look really, really good because I've done much bigger groups of planting rather than, say, having just a few things here and there. So I'm really excited to see this. Geranium Wargrave Pink is just starting to flower. Not too many here. It's looking very nice. The ground's actually very wet at the moment, so some of the plants, as you can see with this geranium, have kind of fallen over a bit, which might explain why some of the alliums look a bit odd. But that's good because it's barely rained here at all. It's been incredibly dry, so we do actually need a bit of rain at this current time. Because I always notice when it rains, the perennials then come back a few days later looking incredible. So yeah, I just want to get this angle real quick. I just love what you can see. It looks so sort of whimsical with all of the different Nepitas. I just feel like it looks kind of like a sort of fairy tale almost. It's so nice. It's really important to have lots of like texture in your garden. I feel like Nepeta grasses, they're great for that. I also do love the combination of the purple alliums with the sort of lime green foliage. I just think it works so well. That's why I love alliums at this time of the year. They just like a very classy plant, shall we say. I also got a new potting bench, so I'm probably gonna, spend a lot more time over in this patio area, which is nice. I potted on a lot of my seedlings, as you can see. These are a lot of marigolds. We have some candy tufts, just things that would typically go in pots. So yeah, I'm excited for them to come through. It's always rewarding to kind of do your own thing and see how that's going to be. Also, in these nice pots over here, we have lots of gladioli, which is our summer bulbs. So I'm excited to see them come through. I feel like they're going to look really, really good, definitely. Also, this pathway next to the bird aviary, I really, really like this. This is one of my new flower beds that I just made this year. I have actually done some changes in here since my last garden tour. Originally, I was going to have this be sort of a prairie style one, like the border at the back, but it's such a small border right on the edge of my shed and aviary, kind of going between this other one, that I decided instead it's better to have low growing things that won't go too crazy. So we've got a Nepeta Six Hills Giant at the end, kind of to match up with this one that's going along the pathway here, and then lots of Erigeron because I just think the sort of clump of these will look really good. I love how it looks in this watering can. I think it looks so nice. There's also hydrangea in the pot, a white one, I believe. So yeah, I think this is going to look like a really, really nice flower bed once everything sort of comes through. We also have three of these sort of grasses, Stipa tenacima, just because I think they look so nice and they add a great amount of texture. So yeah, I'm really excited to see this flower bed transpire this year for the very first time. I planted lots of things that I think will look nice this year, which is good. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Heading down this pathway to the archway, we can see that the clematis giant star is still flowering, or I guess I should say it's not really flowering anymore, but the flowers are still on it, which is nice for this tour. They're definitely going to all be gone by the time I make my next tour, so we're appreciating them whilst they're here, which is definitely important to do. You can see that the Salvia caradonna family over here, mixed with Salvia schneehugel, the white one, are all about to start flowering, which is so exciting. I really, really love them. Over here, this is really weird. There's actually a Rudbeckia goldsperm in flower. I have no idea how this has happened because they're not supposed to flower until much later. So I think this plant has been a bit confused, but I'm probably going to chop that flower off and give it some energy back because, yeah, it's definitely not supposed to be flowering now. We also have the Sambucus tree, which is starting to flower. Very, very pretty. Can't wait to see this. I love the contrast of this tree amongst all the sort of green. I think that works really, really well. And, I've been trying to add more sort of permanent structure to the garden, shall we say, because obviously perennials are kind of what I would call sort of soft structure. So, yeah, this is definitely going to help with that a lot. Again, lots of alliums mixed in here and there, and they do look nice. I just wish they were a bit taller and a bit more of them, to be honest. We have a new area over here. So we've got a Geum Totally Tangerine here, which is looking very, very pretty. And behind it is my collection of Aster Monch, which is one of my absolute favorites. It's going to be a little while before this looks good, as it's kind of a late summer perennial, but it's really, really pretty. So I think this combination is going to look good. You might remember that there was actually a buddleia here originally, and that is gone now. Unfortunately, it just kind of died after I moved it because it was originally where the big birch tree was that I planted last month. So yeah, unfortunately, it died. It's a shame, but I think, to be honest with you, if it had stayed here anyways, it would have just taken over all the perennials and they wouldn't have gotten a chance. So it's probably better just to have this border be perennials, to be honest with you. I think it looks a lot better that way. In this little corner right next to the birch tree, we have our Macedonian scabious, looking great. The dark red one, very, very pretty. We have a bunch of these plants kind of flowering together, which is a lot of fun, making a really nice scene, kind of like a wall of red. Also, at the back, we have a bunch of alliums, lots of little ones right at the back, and then the sort of bigger ones here. This is a nice little corner of alliums. These are kind of all from last year, I think, which is fun. So, yeah, love the alliums. Here's a little corner which I showed off in my last tour, and I also created, I think, last month, the little sort of shady bit underneath the birch tree. This is looking pretty good. As you can see, the bruneras are spreading out. We have the tiarella, which is looking good, coming in for a second flowering after a bit of a deadheading. And the hostas are spreading too. So yeah, this little corner is looking really, really good. I think if you look at it compared to the last month's tour, you'll see just how much it's changed. Speaking of which, the giant birch tree is now in leaf, which is so exciting. It's hard to properly show it on the video, but yeah, it's absolutely covered in leaves, which I'm so happy about because I was worried that it just would, not come back. So yeah, really happy that this tree is looking good. Really happy that this corner here is looking great. Definitely some work to do in this area because over here where the alliums are, it's very sort of sparse, but we're getting there. Shady border is still looking good. We still have lots of ones. Here, I believe this is Saxifraga London Pride, coming up really nice, next to some of the giant hostas. I don't remember their exact names, but there's a lot of them, as you can see. Pulmonaria, still looking good. We also have a Geum, Phaeum. I can't remember the exact name. I think this is Joseph's Green. Yeah, it does look really, really pretty here in the shady border. It does very well in shade, actually, which is quite surprising, but it's great. We also have another one of those down there, and the hydrangea is coming up really big too. Also, lots of really big ferns this year, looking incredible. Yeah, I'm very pleased with the shady border this year. Last year and the years before, it wasn't the best. So it's nice that this year it's really coming into its own. Something else that's in flower, kind of just starting flower now, is geranium brookside. Kind of on the opposite side of that other geranium, actually. So it's kind of a nice little contrast. This one does prefer more sun. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's a really great time of the year for things flowering, of course, and looking absolutely lovely. There's some things I'm not so happy with, as I mentioned, like the alliums not looking their absolute best. But I do think overall, the garden is looking fantastic at this current time, and I can't wait to see how it looks in June. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section and what's flowering in your garden. And don't forget to subscribe. We'd absolutely love to have you here.